I'd like to go ahead and call the Tuesday, June 17th, 2014 meeting to order. If I could ask you to rise for our pledge and our invocation, led by our City Attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Our Father in heaven, help us to think clearly without confusion, to speak honestly without rancor, to debate without division, and to decide courageously without contention. Grant your elected officials the grace to finish this week as patriots who love you and count it a high privilege to serve as leaders of our beloved community. We offer up our thanks and heartfelt appreciation for all of our men and women in uniform, whether it be in armed services, the Sheriff's Department, or our firefighters, all of which place their lives on the line every day in order to protect our liberty and our personal, spiritual, religious, political, and economic freedoms. In your name we pray. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And once again, welcome. Got a couple of housekeeping measures before we get started with our Citizens Open Forum. Our Deputy City Clerk, Ms. Kathy Horvath, yesterday celebrated her 35th wedding anniversary to her husband, Steve. On Facebook, looks so cute from cutting the cake. That was awesome. And our city clerk, Ann Stefan, got engaged over the weekend. Scott Nixon, and I believe it was our city attorney that made reference to her new name, which will be, who was it that said it?
That wasn't me.
It'll be annexing.
Annexing.
one at a time.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Annexing. So, kind of a city joke. You probably don't get it.
Don't we have to pass a resolution or an ordinance?
Well, she's got to be contiguous. Yeah, it's got to be contiguous for annexing. So. Anyway, we'll go into our our Citizens Open Forum. That's what we're going to do first, and that allows you to address the council. Only a couple of rules. Keep it to no more than 5 minutes. State your name and address clearly for the record, and don't speak towards anything on tonight's agenda. Having said that, we'll start on the Jerry Custon side of the room. Do you have anything? No? Anybody else on this side of the room? Any golf cart news? No? Somebody asked about a parade. Do you ever see that happen? A parade? Yeah, so we'll work on that. How about this side of the room? What a shot. Yeah.
Richard Ruby, 556 Doug Terrace West, Oldsmar. Bruce pretty much answered all my questions before this all started, but since I was here, I had to bust you, especially you. My question to him.
You like rubbing up against that mic like that?
Can you hit me now better?
No, you were rubbing up against it.
Yeah, we couldn't hear you.
I never talked up through microphones. I got a big mouth anyhow. The question was basically what the construction that's going down in the corner down here, and he pretty much explained everything to me.
Yeah, you know. Two different projects. The one that got torn down is a project we just approved, and then the Thornton's is going in.
Because I can see that thing going to be, it's bad enough with the traffic, but can you imagine when they start getting all that traffic going in and out of that place? But that's where we live. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah.
That's once in a while bust you.
At least it'll make it's got to be an improvement on that corner, so thanks. Anybody else on this side of the room? Anybody else in the room? Nope, seeing no one, we'll close the Citizens Open Forum. We'll move into our Community Redevelopment Agency, where we just have one item, which is to authorize the city attorney to prepare an ordinance amending the town center code, revising the definition of restrictive uses to no longer include tattoo parlors. Bruce, do you want to address that a little bit, or?
Sure. Tonight, assuming the council authorizes the city attorney to prepare the ordinance, this is a request from a business that would like to open in the town center, requiring a code amendment, and we would do a staff presentation at the first reading of the ordinance 2 weeks from tonight. So unless you have some particular questions, I would recommend that you authorize the city attorney to prepare the ordinance amending the town center code.
And just for those that are watching on TV or here in the audience, really this is just taking it to the next step. It doesn't approve anything. It just moves it to a public hearing so that the applicant can then address it in a public forum and proponents and opponents can speak about it, and then we act on it. So it's really just a motion to move it forward. It doesn't approve or deny it. So I just need a motion to prepare the ordinance.
I just wanted to just point one thing out. There's a discrepancy between the ordinance and what she wrote in her letter. I don't know whether she has piercings in her tattoo parlor, but the ordinance addresses tattoos, and her letter addresses tattoos and piercings. So I just wanted to point that out for the second reading.
Would we need to? Would that need to be in there since it's not a restricted? Piercing is not a restricted use.
It is.
Huh?
It is. Piercing is a restricted.
Oh, it is. It is.
So we may want to address it at the same time, maybe get staff to address that as well.
Okay.
Either that, or maybe she included in her letter and is no longer interested in doing that. I'm not really sure, maybe.
Yeah.
We can address that.
Yeah, if you, the applicant's here, maybe she can.
Sure.
We just want to make sure we do it, prepare it once.
When they talked about it at the planning
Need
meeting.
your name.
Name and address?
Oh, Jillian Santiago, 1706 Azalea Court, Oldsmar, Florida. Well, I didn't need to have piercings. We talked about it there because they said that they would probably have to go through all this again to do piercings, and I was like, oh, we won't have to do that. Okay. I can just do without it. But they had said if I did want to do that in the future, it wouldn't be a big deal if it was just ears and stuff like that. So I don't really know because I don't know what y'all's... I didn't know if that meant piercing parlors or what. So we would only have a few things done if we ever did it, but...
Yeah.
Are there such a thing as piercing parlors?
Yes.
There are.
Yeah, right now, the definition includes tattoo parlors and it, as well as body piercing facilities. So if that's something that the commission or to the council wants me to address at the same time in drafting the ordinance, then now
Can we draft it that way, and then at the first reading, we can include either both or strike one or the other?
Well, it'd be best to tell me to include it, then you can just strike it out.
That's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to include it, and then we can strike either one or the other, or both, or neither.
Right.
Okay. Is that a motion for that?
Yes.
Motion to remove tattooing and body piercing.
Tattoo parlors, body piercing facilities.
Do I have a motion? Second?
I'll second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Me,
Just to draft the ordinance.
I know. I'm for it, just to draft the ordinance.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, 5-0?
Yep, 5-0. Thank you. Next is our consent docket. We have 4 items approved. Thank you. Approve the minutes of the April 15th, 2014 City Council meeting. Approve the minutes of the May 6th, 2014 City Council meeting. Approve payment to legal counsel and authorize the city manager to advertise for bids for landscaping materials for State Road 580. Does anybody wish to pull anything? If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second? Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Thank you. Next is the City of Oldsmar. Consider the reappointment of Bernie Carnevale to the planning board. Bernie is here. Do you have a speech or poem or anything prepared for us tonight, Bernie?
Oh, I don't. Bernie Carnevale, 858 Christina Circle. I'd just like to get back on the planning board. I've been involved in the city since I moved here in '94, and I think we should give back to our community when we can.
Thank you. Thank you, Bernie. Anybody have any questions of Bernie? If not, I need a motion to approve.
You got it.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 5-0. Thank you. Next is the presentation of our council manager award, and that is Councilmember McGee.
John, if you and your family want to come up here, and I'll. You want to introduce who's here with you tonight?
Sure. This is my beautiful wife, Beth, and my 2 wonderful kids, Jackson and Carson.
So this evening I'll be presenting the Council Manager Award to John Buse of Davis Buse Design Group, and I'm read something here. So John Buse has managed Davis Buse Design Group here in Oldsmar. They're located at 150 State Street East. for the past 15 years of their 20-year company history, so they've been here since 1994. His company designs houses for many of the top national builders, both locally and throughout the country. As a company, Davis Buse has also designed and built the first mixed-use buildings in the downtown area, where he has chosen to locate his world headquarters. So Rampart Square, just down the street, is where his office is located. He also designs and builds limited edition homes of strength, beauty, and function throughout the city. He has recently collaborated with the City of Oldsmar on the Hayes Park Village cottages, which is going to be right across from the fire station. As a member of the Oldsmar community, John has participated in the Oldsmar Citizen Academy and has served on, or the Janice Miller Oldsmar Citizen Academy, and has served on the Oldsmar Economic Development Committee for the past 10 years. But most importantly, John has been an Oldsmar resident for the last 22 years. He built his house when the roads were still dirt, and he continues to agree that it's the greatest place to live, work, and play. So John not only brings valuable residential and business opportunities to our city, he's also a visionary leader and a stand-up human being. I admire your work and your design. He brings period architecture into new construction. So a lot of those new construction houses you see, especially in the downtown area, his company purchases those lots and then builds new construction houses that have kind of that historic bungalow architecture, creating looks that are timeless and that really represent the history that our city was founded on. I consider him a dear friend, and I'm honored to present him with this award, which is much deserved. Thank you for all that you do as a business owner and a citizen within our city of Oldsmar. So tonight, I'll be presenting Council Manager Award of Recognition presented to John Buse for June of 2014. And if you'd like to say anything.
Well, certainly. Thank you very much, Gabby. It's an honor to receive an award and be recognized for doing what I love to do. So for me, it's really not work, but I do love the city. I'm sure anyone that knows me knows that. It's been very good to myself, my family, and our company. They've always been very helpful, this council and many previous councils prior to this. So I certainly don't plan on doing anything different than building great houses and designing them as well, and raising my family here in this wonderful town we call Oldsmar. I think the biggest thing I like about Oldsmar is it's grown in the past 22 years, but it's really still a small town. It's really cool. Everybody kind of knows each other, but we've grown enough to be maybe some maturity, you know, where people recognize us now. We're not full of dirt roads, right, Mr. Beaverland? So I'm really grateful for that and all the leadership that the city provides, which is kind of what got us here. So I should be thanking you guys for maintaining a wonderful city, but I really appreciate it. And as a side note, I did want to say that Hayes Park Cottages, the paving commenced this morning. So for those of you who haven't driven by, there's real asphalt roads in there now. It's a very exciting time. And the TRC meeting for the plat was this morning. So we are, I pray, days away from filing for building permits. So it's very exciting. It's a 6-year project that we've all been working on very hard, and this with the city's help. So I want to take a little chance to plug that because it's really finally looking like a community now. So for those of you who'd like to drive by, please don't drive on the asphalt yet, but you can very, very soon, I promise.
Are there any lots still available?
Hayes Park Cottages, yes. There is a website, hayesparkvillage.com, for a VIP list. We're in the low 100 signups, so we're still not ready to offer anything for sale, but very, very close.
Do you want to tell them where some of your other new construction houses that are available are?
I do, sure. We have a beautiful home, a period-style Italianate Renaissance house at the corner of Dartmouth and Washington in Oldsmar that just was finished about a week ago. Sorry, thank you, Arlington. We also built a house on Jefferson near the corner of Dartmouth and Jefferson, a period style, and a Craftsman that also is probably get a CO in the next week or so. So those are two that are recently finished, and we're working on another one on Arlington across from the Italianate one I spoke of. That'll be more colonial.
Are you doing the 2 lots that I sold?
Yes, we're designing and building those as well. That's near the corner also of Arlington and Washington.
Park, yeah, between Park and Washington.
Yes, between Park, yes. Awesome. Those are all that are under construction now.
And hopefully a few more in the near future.
Yes, of course. Sell those, and then we have the 2 more in the pipeline, so we don't want to be greedy.
Thank you so much, John.
Congratulations. Yeah, I drive, every time I go to the post office, I come around the back side to see what's going on back there, and it's exciting. It's exciting. Our next item is our presentation of our Employee Service Award, and our City Manager, Mr. Bruce Haddock, will do that.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm very pleased this evening to present a 10-year service award to Kitty Knox. You're good there. And who did you bring with you tonight?
This is my son, Kevin, my handsome son, Kevin.
Glad you came tonight, Kevin. First, there's a check that goes along with this. Take that.
Okay.
And don't rush off now. We still have to, Kathy's going to take our picture also. Yeah. The service award is in recognition for 10 years of service to the City of Oldsmar, presented to Catherine Knox, 2004 to 2014. They put your whole name on there, make that very official. Yes. So Kitty is a customer service clerk in utility billing, part of the finance operation and administrative services. And you've been in that position the 10 years that you've worked for us, right?
All except for 1 month I worked the reception desk.
Well, I guess I didn't remember that.
Hire me the first time around.
No kidding. I guess it worked out in the long run.
It did.
So I wanted to just take a minute, and in case there's a few people, or maybe they'll watch it later on, they'll watch the meeting. And so the job that Kitty is involved in utility billing involves, of course, the utility bills. And for each month, there's over 5,000 customers that get a bill, and we're expecting all of them to pay us every month too. Isn't that right?
We expect it.
Yeah.
We don't always get it.
Yeah, it's not a perfect world. But every job's important, but one of the things in particular I wanted to mention about the job you do is that actually there are, over the course of a year, millions of dollars that flow through the office, and the work that you do is very important for providing service to the customers, but also, maintaining the financial operations of the city. So here on your 10th anniversary, it's an opportunity we can just say thank you. We appreciate the work that you do and congratulate you on reaching this milestone. Anything you want to say?
I would just like to say thank you to my cohorts back there, because without them, I could not do the job I do. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bruce?
Congratulations.
Bruce, when you told her that she needed, they handle 5,000 customers a month. Kitty, listen to me. When you said you expect them to pay all the time, and in her mind she's saying we always expect them to pay on time, she gave me a look. She knows I don't always pay on time.
Oh, you get those phone calls too?
Yeah.
I've had a couple of those, pay by Thursday.
Sometimes they send somebody to my house and say, it's going to get turned off if you don't get down there right now.
I haven't had that. Congratulations.
That just shows, see, they don't show partiality to nobody.
City Attorney, our agenda shows nothing, but I've been told that Tom does have an item that he needs to address.
I wanted to let you know that finally, after almost 20 years, the city has closed on the borrow pit project. So Bruce signed the documents earlier today, and we're supposed to get the other half of the documents tomorrow morning, but as a result of Bruce's direction, the city has in its hands, I think it's 107 acres. We'd started out with a requirement that the city be provided 50 acres. There was absolutely no cost to the city to obtain that. So I'm sure that Bruce will be coming back to you in the near future to decide how you're going to use that property. But I wanted to let you know that we do now own it.
Good, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's been a long
Persistence.
haul.
Jerry, you want to tell them where it's at, just for those that don't know about the borrow pit?
When you're going down Forest Lakes Boulevard or going down Racetrack Road, at the corner of Forest Lakes Boulevard and Racetrack Road, if you look to the
Kind of northwestish, I guess.
yeah, northwest, a little bit to the west, all that land back there, you'll see a gate that takes you back there, and it's an incredible piece of land. It's right there next to the Brooker Creek Preserve.
How many acres is it?
107. Somewhere right, I
107?
think that's right, 107?
Yes.
Yeah, 107 acres.
And we also made a lot of money out of that when they dug it.
Yeah, good, that's awesome.
So that's
Excited,
all
looking forward to that coming back before us.
Tom, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
Being
Persistence.
persistent.
Anything else?
That's it.
That's it. City Manager.
Thank you. Mayor and council, the next item, approve renewal of use agreement with Oldsmar Falcon Youth Football and Cheerleading Incorporated. As our other agreements with the youth sports, it runs on an annual basis. This replaces the 2013 agreement. It's also for a one-year period. Changes include the dates, fields to be used, and the time of use. As I think the council's aware that the agreement covers fields 1, 2, and 3 and phase 2, and during part of the year, those fields are shared with youth soccer, Oldsmar Soccer as well. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to respond to those. The agreement is from July 14th, 2014 until November 20th, 2014.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second? Second. Any discussion? If not, all in favor?
Yeah.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor and council, the next item, approve landscaping plan for State Road 580. This covers the section of 580 starting at the intersection of Tampa Road and going west to Curlew, goes to Forest Lakes Boulevard. And I think you're aware that we've had a multi-year agreement with the Florida Department of Transportation for upgrading landscaping on different segments of the 3 state roads in Oldsmar. The agreement provides us up to $90,000 a year, and the plan was distributed as a separate document. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to respond to those. I do recommend that you approve the landscaping plan for State Road 580.
Sounds good. I need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Got a second? Any other discussion on this? This is that segment right there by Starbucks and Panera's. Is that what you just said?
No.
Where am I thinking?
For 580.
Oh, 580.
Jeff can clarify the section that it is.
584 Lakes Boulevard to right behind the CFC.
So it's 580, which
Right.
is going from, it's not Tampa Road. You know, sometimes
Yeah, I
get those confused. So it's 580 from right here at City Hall, going west to Forest Lakes
Oh, okay.
Boulevard. So it'll be, the western end is Forest Lakes Boulevard and St. Petersburg Drive.
Good, okay.
It was existing sod, right, but just some new plants and trees and things from what I saw.
Why don't you come up and tell a little bit about what's involved with it?
I thought it was pretty landscaped as it is.
It's it's expanding some of the beds that are there and additional beds. That's the biggest medians we have in
That's
town.
huge, yeah.
So there's a lot of grass, changing out some of the plants that are there. So that's about it, really.
It was existing sod, right, Jeff, though? The sod staying?
Yes.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we expand the beds, we'll take out the sod, and there's some additional beds. There's actually only 3 medians right there,
Okay.
long ones.
Good, that should look great coming into the city. Thanks. I have a motion and a second. All in favor? Aye. Aye. Passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Item 11, authorize the city attorney to prepare an ordinance annexing a vacant lot on Phoenix Avenue. This is also located in West Oldsmar. And at the request of the property owner, this is a voluntary annexation. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to respond to those. I recommend that you authorize the city attorney to prepare the annexation ordinance.
Need a motion, please?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
Motion and second. Discussion? Jerry, any comment?
And
One at a time. I was waiting for the one at a time.
One at a time.
Motion and a second, no other discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. The next item, 12, consider adoption of Resolution 2014-10, approving the 2013 concurrency test statement. This is something that's required by our comprehensive plan to be done on an annual basis. I'll read the resolution by title only, and then I'll ask Marie Dauphiné, our Planning and Redevelopment Director, to give you a little more background on this item. This is Resolution 2014-10, a resolution of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, adopting the 2013 concurrency test statement pursuant to the requirements of the Land Development Code, Article 11, and providing an effective date. That's the reading of Resolution 2014-10 by title only. I recommend its adoption.
To give you a short background, this is required every year, as the city manager has stated, and it's basically to ensure that adequate public facilities are available for, all the developments that occurred for that year. And so that includes, water, sewer, transportation, solid waste, parks and recreation, drainage. This year, there were 4 developments that were approved by the city council and staff. 3 of them were residential. One was Wellington Estates, 30 single-family homes. Tuscany Woods South, it was a 26 townhome unit, and Tuscany Woods North, which was 54 townhomes. So it was one commercial building, 107 Pinckney, and it's a 3,720 square foot printing facility. As far as the population this year for the city was 13,725, and that's very close to our U.S. Census count, which was 13,591. We had 8 annexations this year. They were all in West Oldsmar. And then pretty much it just continues as far as transportation, potable water, wastewater, mass transit, etc. So I'm really here to answer any questions. We just kind of updated all the numbers for this report. And I think we've been doing this since 96.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
At one time it was like, really necessary because we had a lot of development occurring, but, now it's not as,
What you do is just take last year's and change the date and the...
We put a couple more pictures in this year, so it kind of jazzed it up a little bit.
Maybe, yeah. Any questions?
Any questions?
If not, I need a motion.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Thank you.
Thank you. Mayor and council, the next item, consider adopting Resolution 2014-09, authorizing a revision of the existing budget for the current fiscal year 2013-14. As you're aware that we do a formal budget review 3 times a year in February, June, and after the year is completed in October or November. In this June review this year, there are only 3 items, and the general fund, so it's kind of a short list. Legal increased $35,000, technical services increased $15,000, streets increased $20,000, decreased the contingency reserve $70,000. I'll read the resolution by title only. This is Resolution 2014-09. A resolution of the City Council of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, revising the budget for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2013 and ending September 30, 2014, authorizing the City Manager and the Director of Administrative Services to revise the existing budget. That's the reading of Resolution 2014-09 by title only. I recommend its adoption.
Need a motion?
So moved.
Second? Motion and a second. Any discussion on this? Do we know, I know this isn't quite related, but since you brought it up, the Bay Arbor, do we know where we stand with that? I know they did the study, but we had talked about a warrant study for that intersection as the next step. Do we know where?
It's underway now, and actually this is, this revision is to cover the cost of it.
Okay, that's what I thought. I
But
just wanted to.
it's underway now.
Okay.
It's already ordered it.
Good. Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Thank you. Anything else?
That's it for me.
Yep.
I meant to say something on this last one. Some of y'all, I know y'all don't remember this, but some of y'all may have already know this. Many years ago, when we had an ordinance, like when I was on council in the 70s, when you had an ordinance, you had to read the ordinance in entirety
Yeah.
at least one time. We sat downstairs for 2 days because we didn't have a planning ordinance. And then we had to, John wrote it up for us. We sat down there reading that to each other for 2 days, just because Tallahassee said we had to read the entire ordinance at least one time.
Wow. Kind of like story time, huh?
And it used to have to read an ordinance 3 times total. So one in
full?
entirety and 2 by title. So now you only have to do it twice by title.
My title, I mean,
Yeah.
you talk about being boring.
Yep.
I just thought I'd bring that up.
Okay.
I have a question regarding the traffic study for Bay Arbor. Was well, it wasn't even an applicant, but the business owner paying for that, or some of that?
Well, they did a traffic study, but then there becomes a warrant. We decided that the next step was a warrant
I
study.
thought it was always supposed to be a warrant.
Well,
Now, what the developer or the owner of the shopping center was required to do was an analysis of traffic generated there at their property and also what the movements were. And what we've asked, well, actually Cardno TBE is doing the work for a warrant analysis to see if it meets warrants for a signal. And if not, also any other recommendation they might have for improving the intersection. So that's the current work that we've authorized them to do.
Okay.
as long as it's not pork chops. I think that would be a mess. Nothing else? City Clerk?
I don't have anything.
You sure you don't?
What's that on your hand?
Oh my God, your cheeks got to hurt from smiling the past 2 days. City Council, this is fun. Select a voting delegate to Florida League of Cities annual conference. And if recollection serves me properly, it's typically the most recent council member to join the city council.
Oh,
I did it last year.
Tenure has something to play.
I never saw that in the ordinance that we wrote up while you were not. While you were not.
There's only one thing you are sure of. This seat doesn't do it.
Well, we know that.
Be your farewell thing, Jim.
You want to go?
Not really, no.
I suggest Jim goes.
I did it last year, but I told Bruce the last day falls on my father's birthday, so I'm not looking to stay for the business session because I'd like to get home for my father's birthday on the 16th. So otherwise, it really was like 2 hours on Saturday.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal. So.
Oh no, you know. And half the people don't show up anyway.
Yeah, whatever, I'll do it. I don't care.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Best, Jim.
I knew the father's birthday thing would really tear at his heartstrings.
Yeah, like go.
Somebody protests so much. It was like, I don't want that, but I'll take it.
Yeah.
No, I prefer
The
not
voting
to.
session last year got pretty intense because it was,
Was it?
I think we were voting on vice president for the league,
Yeah, it's good. Oh yeah.
and it was contested. You guys weren't there. You missed out on all the action, but it was contested.
Well, because last year the former president, who was it that got indicted or whatever he did?
Oh, yeah.
Arrested by the
Well,
FBI.
Yeah, he got arrested by the
Yeah, that
FBI.
was last
That
year.
was last year.
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Mario, I think it was last
Mario?
year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, so it was pretty exciting. You never know what could happen this year.
Can't wait.
He took bribes, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got it.
Oh, he took a bunch of bribes. Yeah. Yeah.
There was like 3 or 4 of them, though, weren't there?
We got to vote on that, or is he already met here?
I think it just.
I think you usually do.
What is the conference?
Yes.
Motion for Mr. Councilmember Roniker to represent us, the great city of Oldsmar.
I'll make that motion.
Second?
You got it.
A second, all in favor? Aye.
Oh, no? It doesn't matter.
Passes 4-1.
Oh, I'll go yes.
No,
No,
I'm kidding.
that for the record.
5-0. Thank you. And the next item, as we whip through this thing,
Good.
comments by city council members. We'll start with Councilmember Beaverland. The first rank of Mr. Beaverland.
See, I don't know how we're going to handle this, but I'm going to suggest something. It may take a work session, or it may take something. I would like the city, when we have a Memorial Day. By the way, I do have appointments with both principals for the other thing I had brought up with them writing an essay. when we have Memorial Day and Veterans Day, I like maybe, I know the Leisure Services handles this, but I like to have the guys on the, what board is that? The Army guys?
Veterans
There's the
Memorial.
Veterans Memorial Committee.
Yeah, the Veterans Memorial. We need to be a Purple Heart city. We need to have Purple Heart to give out, recognize individuals there that are sitting there that have received the Purple Heart. We need to have the American Legion there in some way. We need to beef the thing up, I think. And also, I don't want to sound real negative, but when we have a speaker, I want a speaker there, this is a personal thing, I want a speaker there that can make my heart pound, and not somebody I want somebody that's been in action, that has seen it, that has experienced it. It doesn't have to be a general, it doesn't have to be a major, it can be some private out there. He can get up there and give us a speech, the speech that we really need. Mm-hmm. And I think it needs to be sort of reorganized with the Veterans Committee, with the Leisure Services, and the council direct what we want them to do. You know, and I know these things can happen, but how can you forget a reef? How can you do that? Mm-hmm. You know, not casting stones anywhere, because, you know, I've made so many mistakes in my life that I'm scarred everywhere. But these two events are very special to a lot of people, to this country. And I would like for us to coordinate somehow, either the city manager, or you can make Tom or somebody to be part of this group with the veterans to put this thing together. However y'all would want that. Now, I would just ask you to think about it. I'm going to bring it up at the next council meeting to see what we can do about it. I mean,
I'd have to say that I agree. I think this was, they continue to get better and bigger and, you know, well done, but I think it was probably one of our weakest celebrations. And I think, I agree with you that I think they're there, and I think we need to take time to acknowledge the people that are there that may not be with us for, you know,
that's right,
much longer. And I agree with you. And I think to Councilmember Veronica's comment about the tent, I think he made it the last meeting or whatever meeting it was. I think we need to step it up a notch. I agree with you.
Okay, so if you think about it, I'll bring it up at the next meeting, and maybe we make a decision.
Do we just make it an agenda item to discuss? I mean, because you already just brought it up.
Well, I mean, you may have some more ideas of how we can do it. You want a work session or what? Or how are we going to do it?
To the Veterans Committee, let's see what they come up with.
Yeah, can we do that? Is that the best? What would you suggest, Bruce? Turn it over to the Veterans Committee and see how we can relay our concerns. Anybody else have any thoughts on it? Might as well talk about it right now.
No, I agree. I completely agree.
The tent, we need a bigger tent, or we need 2 tents.
Yeah.
That's a problem too when we do the gold
I think we
star
all
event.
got emails on that too.
Well, why don't we just put it on the next agenda?
Okay.
I think after that, there might be something then that we'd want to take to the Veterans Memorial Committee. Ordinarily, they only meet like twice a year, I think.
Right, twice a year.
Can we have, is it possible to have them, or at least somebody there that can relay our message to them? Possibly, if they can attend?
Well, Frank used to be the president of the Purple Heart, and Dunedin is a Purple Heart community. Right. Tom is, he's more in tune with that because he has seen that over there, and you get some suggestions from Tom. I mean, when you have a ceremony like that, you want everybody to walk away.
Pumped, yeah, I agree. I mean, and we've had some really great speakers over the years, but I did feel like the speaks that we had lacked a little bit of the compassion.
It lacked everything.
Yeah, and you know, he acknowledged that I think the Veterans Committee or somebody wrote it for him, and I mean, not to take anything away from the service that he does for our country, but I think we're a big enough park and a big enough event that I think it should really hit home.
We just declared What was
The Veterans Administration is, it's an official site for
Right.
Veterans Day ceremony on November 11th.
We've received that before,
Acknowledged
right?
by the Veterans Administration, yes.
I mean, this is.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay, I'm going to start now. By the end of my term, when I'm gone, I'm going to start donating to the Historical Society.
Start? What do you mean start?
Well, I'm going to end it. You know, I've got over 1,000 photographs and all the documentations. I've got probably 4 years of minutes. 1990s. I mean, when they took minutes back then, it was verbatim. Now, why was it verbatim? Because they wanted to convince everybody that they were doing a lot of work and they were wasting a lot of time, is what it was. But I got them verbatim for almost 4 years of minutes.
Everything you've ever said verbatim.
Oh my God, that's going to be an exciting read.
Hey, some of that thick.
And that's just your council comments.
And a lot of that's me. Okay. So the only thing I probably will not pass over yet is the gavel and the safe. I may pass the gavel over a little later, but you know, if they want the safe, they're going to have to wait until I'm gone. I ain't moving out of that house. You know, that's the original safe from the original council in 1918. And I just want to say publicly that golf carts don't belong on any of our park paths. That's me. Golf carts, except for the sheriff's office.
And maintenance workers.
And maintenance workers. Anybody, stay off our paths with golf carts. My 4th book will almost be finished by the end of the year. I'm almost there. And if you live in any subdivisions in the city of Oldsmar and you want to know the history of your subdivision, I am now working on the last 2 subdivisions, Fountains 1, Fountains 2, and 1 and 2 of Fountains 2, which at one time was the second phase of the preserves, which is confusing. And then I'm going to, after I finish them, I'll have them done in about a week, and then I'm going to go to Bay Arbor, and then I'll be finished with all the subdivisions here in town, and that has been an eye-opener for me. And I want to thank Marie for digging all this stuff up, the past, and going through all that stuff has been an education, even though I've been here through them all. It was an education. And thank you all who you are.
Sure you're done? Reserved the floor. Councilmember Roniker.
I don't really have anything. Congratulations to Ann on your engagement. That's terrific. Wish you nothing but the best. And congratulations to Kathy and her husband for 35 years. Outstanding. Congratulations.
She's only 40. Isn't that
That's amazing.
All because of her.
Oh, that's probably true.
That's all I got.
Councilmember McGee.
First, I just want to apologize for missing last meeting. I had a horrible stomach flu, so I just wanted to mention that. And then congrats to Ann. That's so exciting. And was it, Jerry, was it your birthday? Did I miss that recently? Okay, well, happy belated birthday then. You got to throw one in there.
You had to throw one.
And
Yeah.
that's all I got.
Vice Mayor Norris.
You forgot mine.
Oh, well, I texted you.
I didn't know it was your
No, I
birthday
just messed
either.
with you. I was thinking about it. She's not here. I don't get my happy birthday. That's funny. I wanted to touch on something that combines with one of the council agenda items and my recent trip. I just got back from California because I went out to attend my mentee's graduation from Caltech, California Institute of Technology, and it was wonderful. And I took a couple side trips, and the report in here that Marie went, I can't remember exactly what it was called, but what was
Statement.
Yes, that one. I was reading about the population change and the usage in water and the usage in reclaimed water and everything. And it's interesting that we went, right when we started our recycling, we more than doubled the amount that we recycled, which was wonderful. But now we've stepped off a little bit in 2013. So I'd like to encourage the residents to use our single stream recycling. In California, I was very impressed that the city of Pasadena does not allow any plastic bags. So you have to bring your own bags to the grocery stores, or you have to pay a dime for only paper bags. And the major reason is, and I just looked this up, I already knew most of this, but I wanted to make sure that if I was going to say this on TV that I made the facts right. The plastics don't biodegrade. They take 500 to 1,000 years to biodegrade. They don't, and when they don't biodegrade, they just break down into little tiny pieces. And there are areas in the ocean that I don't know how to pronounce it. It's GYRE. Maybe one of y'all know how to pronounce it. But basically, it's a swirling plastic dump. And the biggest one is off the coast of California, and it is twice the size of Texas. And it kills 100,000 marine mammals and 1 million seabirds a year. And it's plastic bags. It's plastic and plastic bags. And we in Oldsmar can recycle every single type of plastic. So just imagine having a huge, twice the size of Texas, lump of plastic out in the Gulf. Imagine that. Imagine every time you throw something in the garbage can, instead of putting it in the recycle bin, it's ending up in the ocean, and it's ruining our environment. It's not a hard thing to do to recycle. So I'm glad that we did more than double it, but I hope that maybe we can get, what is the state with the commercial? It said in the report that 6 businesses and multifamilies do recycle. How can we encourage more businesses and more multifamily places in Oldsmar to recycle?
Well, for commercial, they have the opportunity, if they have enough materials, a number of, I don't know, what is a lot? A number of businesses have materials that are recycled and they actually get paid for them because they have.
Yeah, you do, don't you, Jim?
We got 80 of those big blue bins that we fill up weekly.
But, I mean, it's not Republic Services that.
No, we've got an outside vendor, yeah.
But, I mean, they're a good example of a business that does a lot of recycling,
Right.
commercial recycling. So.
A lot of those people do it out there.
They.
I mean, it said in the report that we just had 6.
You know, if someone wants to, if a business wants to do it, the service is available through Republic, and there's, a small charge. It's $2.10 or $2.30 a month per cart for once a week pickup. So it is available, but for a lot of businesses, they're either doing something on their own already if they have enough quantity, or if they're small, they kind of like, well, it's not worth the trouble or the cost.
Have you ever been to Metal Industries?
Pardon me?
Have you ever been to Metal Industries?
No.
They're probably one of the biggest recyclers of aluminum in the South.
Right. Well, I just wanted to point it out because I was very impressed. I mean, a lot of stuff does start in California, and I know a lot of people think a lot of weirdos live in California, and that's probably true, but they also really care about the environment. I saw more electric cars, more Priuses, more Teslas, and it's kind of more of a environmental conscious that the communities have, and we in Oldsmar, I mean, we're a green city. We have the first LEED certified water plant. We have the first electric car charging stations. We want to be an ecotourism destination. So I think it's only right that maybe we can put an insert in the utility bill to
They all know that.
encourage more. But I just wanted to point that out. That's all. And congratulations, Kathy and Ann. We have the best city clerks.
Don't you have to pay for emissions in California?
Huh?
Don't you have to pay for your emissions in California? Aren't they one of the states where you
I think you do.
Yeah, they do.
If people had to start paying for their emissions on their car, they'd start rethinking some of
They
the
also
cars.
have the highest taxes in the world.
Well, and they're losing money on not getting as much gas tax because there's so many electric cars, so they're starting to think about ways that they can tax the electric cars on mileage uses or something because they're losing money.
That's why I don't go to California.
That's it.
I don't know if this is proper or not.
What?
Is there a marriage in the future? Is that proper yet?
You mean, am I getting married?
Yes.
Did you miss the whole beginning of the meeting?
She hasn't told you a date yet.
Oh, Tuesday, September 23rd.
Because it's
Because it's
the equal part of day and night. Is that what it is?
Yes.
They're so perfect for each other.
Oh my God.
50-50, equal day and night. Yeah. Oh. Yeah. Is there a council meeting that night?
No.
Oh. Special meeting? Yeah. Anything else? Anything else?
I'm gone, good.
I only have a couple of things, and nothing really major. Some stuff, Maria Dolphine set up a meeting, myself and Marie and somebody from CSX are meeting tomorrow to kind of introduce them to the City of Oldsmar and our transit plan and our ideas and you know, what we think, how we could fit into some of their stuff and just kind of reach and extend that out. So I'm looking forward to that. I think I'm calling this right. Also, we are pairing up with the City of Clearwater for the Global World Series that's going to be held here in Oldsmar, July 9th and 9th.
July 9th and 16th, so it'll be July 9th to the 13th. Jerry Cussell, Bay Chamber. Yeah, USSSA will be holding the Global World Series July 9th to the 13th, and then 16th to the 20th. Canal Park will be the focal point of that. Be 50 to 70 teams in each of the age group. The first group will be the even age groups, 8 and under, 10 and under, 12 and under, and then the next week will be the 9 and under, 11 and under, whatever it happens to be. So that 50 to 70 teams, each with 12 kids, and we expect the parents in. So each week we expect about 2,500 people in for this. And the opening ceremonies will be on the 9th and on the 16th at Canal Park at 6 o'clock. And USSSA has asked the Chamber to help them out and getting speakers for that. So we're working with Mayor Beavis and Mayor Kritikos to welcome the people. We'll put a program together to do that. Corey Dillon from 970 WFLA has agreed to come out and be the MC for July 9th. I'm looking for an MC for the 16th. And for the kids, we're trying to get some of the sports mascots around here. Clearwater Thresher says they'll be there. Dunedin Blue Jays said they'll be there. We're looking out, trying to get the Yankees and the Thunderbug and those kind of people to have it kind of festive. So the big thing on the opening ceremony will be parade of teams, where they'll have all the teams kind of gathered up on different fields, and then they'll bring them on into the one field. So you have all 50 or 70 teams of these kids lined up on that one field, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's exciting.
And after that, they do skills contest. You've probably been through that, Jim, with your kids. They'll do a skills contest after that. And then the games will be spread out between Canal Park and 2 fields in Clearwater.
So it's really exciting. I mean,
The Little League World Series?
no, it's the Global World
does that
Series.
mean?
It's the
What is-
Global World.
It's called Global World Series, but there are numerous ones around the country that they do for doing that. And it all leads up to something that they do at Disney called the Elite Global World Series. So USSSA has 70,000 teams across the country, 4,500 in Florida. So it's a big deal.
Wow, that's great.
July 9th and
July 9th and
Can you
16th.
get us some information about what all this is?
well, it just kind of came together pretty in the
Yes,
past. Come together in about the past 5 days.
They just came to us last Thursday to do this. I'm just putting it together right now.
What's been going on?
This is the first time it'll be here.
Oh, this will be the first time?
This will be the first time it's been here.
And it literally just came together in about the past
Right.
week to 10 days. So
Yeah. We're just continuing to get information. In fact, I had to call John Grant today and say, look, you came to me last week. I haven't heard anything from you. Really doing this or not?
John Grant?
John Grant.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, that's it.
but it's still, I mean, I think it's a great event, you know.
It's going to be a wonderful event.
Yeah, and it's great, again, great exposure for the City of Oldsmar. So I don't really have anything else. Bruce, you said you had something you wanted to bring up?
Yeah, just back to the Veterans Day and Memorial Day, I would suggest that we invite the chair of the committee to come to the meeting, so it may not be on the next agenda.
Okay, whenever they can
We'll
make
work
it.
that out with them.
Whenever they can make it, I think so. Tom, you got anything for the good of the cause?
I gave it to you already.
Good, that's awesome. I like it. Miss Glowing over there, do you have anything?
No.
Anybody else have anything? Jerry? Nope. If not, I need a motion to approve the July 1st tentative agenda. Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Pass it.